Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Podcast Without Boundaries. Today we'll talk about border. Hi, Mission. How are you?
Hi Jake, all good, thank you.
Hey. So
So
today
today our topic is about Malaysia reopens and also China and India border, right?
yeah.
Okay, cool,
So
cool.
yeah.
Can
So
see.
Malaysia reopened to six other countries to enter into Malaysia, and then Malaysia also reopened in terms of the entertainment industry in Malaysia. So what happened is that the cinema, the casino, the theme park is allowed to reopen on 1st of July, sorry. And Malaysia border is reopened to 6 green countries, which is Singapore, Brunei, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, and South Korea. So, Mission, what do you think about the whole reopen thing?
Mm. I think first thing is it's good lah because they finally open up. I would say the entertainment industry for the entertainment industry. I'm glad they open up because number one, definitely some people will miss all the fun stuff, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And number two, in terms of economy wise, you will definitely build back.
Yeah,
Especially for the past few days when the all the lottery
yeah.
companies are allowed to open again. I think then you see a lot of old people
Yeah,
all
yeah.
queuing up again.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a good sign for the economy. Besides,
Mm-hmm.
this again, I'm not an economy expert, but it's also good because the economy, you think about it, the government keep like bailing a lot of company, right? So and also helping a lot of people, so they must be using out a lot of money. So it's good they have all this as an additional income. I
Yeah.
know it's not a lot, not as much as the way they print out the money.
Mm-hmm.
It's good that they get the income in. This will increase purchasing power.
Yeah, I think it's
And
good.
as for the borders, what was the sixth country? Yeah, what was the sixth country they opened again?
Singapore,
Which sixth
Brunei,
country?
Singapore,
Mm-hmm.
Brunei, Japan, Australia, New Zealand, and South Korea.
Okay, right. I'd like to hear your thoughts. What do you think? Is it a
Mm.
good move to open back the
Yeah.
border?
Uh, I mean, first of all, go back to the entertainment one. Yeah, it's good for our economy, and like what you say, and then it's good for the company itself because cinema they need to run in order to sell ticket and sell the movie and earn money. And one other than that, I also think that it's good because it's an opportunity for people to actually get out and enjoy themselves with some entertainment and make their life entertain again because we spend money and then we enjoy movie. A lot of people do that. And it's also time that shows that we are ready to get up. As for the open border, yeah, it's good that Malaysia actually opened the border to other countries. But then one thing that need to be concerned is that we must also follow the SOP. If we read in the news, there are actually some, in order for them to enter Malaysia, they need to go through some SOP, like they need to go through the screening and they need to go through the quarantine. As for Singapore and Brunei, I think they don't need to go through the quarantine. They just can enter Malaysia. And I think they shouldn't do that. They shouldn't just let Singaporeans enter Malaysia because Singapore is one of the Singapore is small, and yes, they actually say that most of the cases in Singapore is actually uh, caused by the foreign worker. However, you need to understand that Singapore is so small, the people can just engage with each other just by walking by each other. So for me, Singapore is not a green country. It's a highly infected country, and it should be monitored time after time. So we open the border to Singapore and let them fully enter Malaysia. I don't think it's a good move. I still think they should, close the border or limit the border to Singaporean. Because you can't say that, oh, this the foreign worker, the local is okay. The foreign worker, they are in Singapore, their workforce in Singapore. And so the government should also take consider as they are part of Singapore and they should be taken care. So what do you think, Michelle?
Okay. Okay, I ask you some questions. You see how this is heading. When they say foreign workers, right, in Singapore, right? Let's example, if there's a okay, I just put a country as an example. If you are Bangladeshi, right, and you work, let's say you're Bangladeshi, you're working, and if you want to come to Malaysia, they will look at you one kind, correct? Correct or not? Right. Now you change this. Foreign. I'm using the same word foreign. Foreign means anything that is not in the national. That's not nationality. So let's say we have another guy. This guy is American. Who is staying in Singapore. Will he be treated like the same way the Bangladeshi is treated?
Yeah, you mean the class difference?
Yeah, right. Then if you class people like that, wouldn't it be a little bit questionable in terms of ethics, right? Where do you draw the line for it?
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's very logic that we call foreign worker as we see them as those low skill worker like Bangla, this and that.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, and to be honest, when you come, no matter what country you come from, for example, you can come from US, from UK, whatsoever, and you work in a country that is not your country. For example, Malaysia work in Singapore, you are still foreign worker, even though you are the director or you are the manager. So, yeah, we see the foreign worker as just Bangla, but then sometimes we forget that actually everyone that works in other countries also considered as foreign worker.
So my question to Malaysia and Singapore is when you say like a lot of cases in foreign, I mean, where do you draw that line, right? It's brings me to another question. I mean, this is actually to Singapore, like if you are sorting out people like, oh, if you're Bangladesh or you're Filipino, you're working as those quote unquote the lower class or retail, whatever you call that. Let's say if I am a Nigerian, where would you categorize me as the high risk or the low risk or the medium? So a lot of questionable ethics, right? What do you think?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's definitely like what I said just now. It's about the class and how people actually treat each other.
I actually agree with you. Like the Singapore border, that one is worth reconsidering. Yeah, it's really worth reconsidering. The rest of the nation, I think not too bad. Like New Zealand, like come on, they got 0 cases for so long.
Yeah.
But one country you want to take note. Yeah, speaking about that, I believe Australia lately. If I can find that, I will put it down at the link. All right. There is I think some region in Australia, they are planning to go back MCO because there's a rising case. Are you aware of that?
No.
There is a rising case, like because family keep missing here and there, and the authority do something because there is a spike in cases.
Second wave.
I don't know second wave or not. But
something like that.
It's actually in the source is from the government. From our very own Kementerian Kesihatan. One of the posts lately. A few days ago. So again, then if this is going, if you still open the border, not say cannot, but you think about it,
But then, like, so like what we say in last podcast is that until a certain census, we actually need to live with it. Yeah, we need to live with the virus because when you talk about the vaccine, it might not be discovered until it might not be probably until 2021. So yes, we need to live with the virus, but then at the same time, I think we also need to be more concerned about opening the border and letting people enter.
But with that being said, I see where the government is coming from. Maybe they want to bring more people in, boost up the economy.
Of course, the tourism,
but there are some sectors, not some sectors, sorry. There are some countries, not some. I think all the countries should be taken into equal consideration also, right? Not just like, all right, you good to go. Why not just instead of saying, no, don't go to this country like that, or you cannot enter the country. Why not start do the simple thing by doing how we do before the whole thing really came into place? It's like when the people come in, do the quarantine thingy. I think that one should remain not to open up.
I mean, if let's say you, for example, like what you say, when people come in, they need to go through the quarantine again. Then the quarantine is for 14 days, so 2 weeks. I think it's too. I don't think that is a good idea because just imagine you go to a business trip, go to Singapore, for example, for whatsoever business trip, and then the SOP is that you need to stay in a hotel for 2 weeks before you can start doing your things. So the cost you need to pay for the hotel for for the SOP, and then you need to waste 2 weeks time in the hotel. So I don't think the quarantine in hotel for 2 weeks is a good idea. But I do think that before you enter or before you travel, you need to go screening, and then you need to use, like Malaysia, we are using the My Sejahtera apps to actually track all the traveler movement. So if anything happens, for example, they get COVID, then the government can actually retract their movement based on the application. But the thing is, My Sejahtera apps, I don't know you use it before, but then for me, it's still very unstable and still very lousy. And I think what the government needs to do is actually they need to fix the application so that everyone can actually, use it and then use it conveniently.
When you say lousy, what do you mean by that?
The application sometimes, like recently, my family they register for it, and then they can't actually log into their account because whenever they try to log in, the application basically say username or password error. But then the password and username they are using is the same one. So it's unstable and then they can't actually use the application. As for me, I actually downloaded it way before and then I actually use it sometimes. So what happened to me is that sometimes it actually function like normally it can function, and sometimes the application actually crash or the application can't even scan the QR code. And then some in Malaysia, I feel it's very weird because Selangor and Selangor is, they want to be different than other state or be different between wilayah. So you can't use the application in Selangor itself. So you just imagine because you're traveling in Kuala Lumpur, which means they got wilayah and Selangor Putrajaya. Then when I travel to Selangor, for example, I go to Kuala Selangor for waterfall whatsoever, then I can't use the application. So what's the function of the application, right? So why do I need the application if I can't even use it in the whole Kuala Lumpur or in the whole Malaysia?
Okay, they know that. For my end, no problem. Everything I go so far, all can check, all smooth. They know that. They know that. Okay.
But then the Kuala Lumpur and Selangor thing, I think they need to solve it. Just imagine you come to Selangor, then you cannot use the application.
Yeah. I think one thing annoying also, I don't know, have you tried before? I did that, like you scan the My Sejahtera, then you have to scan the company's own one again. Have you ever had that experience?
Yeah. For
like,
some shop. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like pick one, man. Like,
then
I mean, if the government wants the data so much, just give it to the government. Why your company need another one?
Yeah. I mean, the government, like...
I don't blame the company.
The company actually do this before the My Sejahtera for me. Yeah, they do it.
I don't blame the company because the SOP. The company, because I think the government say like every shops have to do that. Then they gonna make their own app. So that's the one that cause confusion around.
Yeah, like what I said before the My Sejahtera, they actually asked the business owner to create their own application on the name list that we write. Then they come up with the My Sejahtera. So we can't blame the company. But then now since we have the My Sejahtera, I think those shops can actually stop. Yeah.
Okay.
You double work, then your life will be more longer, right?
What about the other borders? What do you think? Back to the topic. Opening up the other borders.
The other border. Now we finished the Singapore and the international border. Now we talk about the entertainment border. You Mm-hmm. The entertainment, I think it's good. Like what you say, the economy wise, and then for me, it's the entertainment, the psychology of physically entertainment. It's good. Movie can start playing, and then they can start earning money. Especially those Chinese New Year movie that delay for months. Hopefully, they I don't think they will delay until next year. Hopefully, they will start playing those Chinese New Year movie. I got a few I want to watch. And then I think it's good that, I think it's good that, people can start dating, but then dating in a very weird way, because when you go for a movie, you sit one seat between you and the other person. So
I think we don't know how the thing will go, how the SOP not released yet, right? I think only to them, but not to us.
Yeah,
to the
I know,
industry.
yeah.
To us,
what I know is that if let's say like movie theater, like theater, movie cinema, then you need to sit. Every seat have a space in between. So like normally you sit next to me, but then now you sit one chair next to me. Yeah. So for example, the capacity for the cinema is 30%. Then now only for 15%.
Theoretically, yeah. Then interesting one. Then can hold hand hold longer lah, hold like.
Don't know.
A bit longer lah. But my question is, I have a lot of questions, but I guess time will tell lah. I just ask you a question, like, let's say you have a family of 4, right? Let's say you, your wife, 2 kids. You want to watch a movie together. Then how will they sit? Are they going to sit together? Are they allowed to sit together, or do they still need the social distancing? I mean, if you have social distancing, just imagine if you have a 3-year-old kid. The 3-year-old kid is like got to be the parent at all time, right? And you leave him and sit there. How? Right. So, but we'll see lah. I don't want to judge anything or say anything. But I'm just glad. Welcome back, entertainment industry, and also casino. I will assume all the boomers will be going up there lah.
Actually, more interested to see how casino run, because casino is always like a lot of people in one table. So I actually more interested to see how they actually run the whole casino.
I wonder if they'll limit or not. Will they limit the person's time? Like in the gym, you only can work out like for 1.5 hours. For those 1 hour, 1.5 hour, give and take. Then my question is, what about if you go to the casino? Is it going to be the same? Will it be? I don't know. Try to ask someone to leave. People who bet usually they are very into it. If you really limit like, I don't know, 1 hour, hard for the rest, right?
For me, what I know is that I see someone actually stay in casino for 12 to 24 hours. They just they just sit there and then they play the horse machine or whatsoever. But then I don't know how you can actually ask them to leave the casino. You want them to wear a badge, right? You cannot, right? So
place your bet halfway. Yeah, I got the list.
Yeah. So I'm very interested to see how they actually run.
Very interesting. Yeah. And to ask a boomer to get away is, I wouldn't do that. Not my job.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do that.
Yeah.
Karens be like, I want to see the manager.
No, I want to see the manager. You can't.
I want to see. Go and see the prime minister, see the Agong also. That's what they want to do. Okay.
So
we got this.
We finished this chapter. Next we move to international border. So for international, we know that there are a conflict between India and China. It's always it is a problem for a long time already. So what happened is that they actually in the Himalaya border, they actually have a conflict where China claim that is their land, and then India also claim that that is their land. And for recently, they actually have a conflict where China actually killed 20 Indian soldiers in the border, which caused a red alert, which caused a big problem or big conflict between both countries. So what we know is that China is always the country that they create. They try to conquer land, like they try to conquer the uh, island between the Japan and China, and then they now want to claim that Taiwan is part of China. So for me, uh, for them to actually do something like this, I think we actually need to actually raise the awareness of the China action, what they do. So what do you think about the whole thing?
Yeah, I think I don't know. It seems like our podcast always we always shoot China. And last episode also we talk about China. Today we talk about China. But it's no listeners out there. We didn't plan this. It just happened to be another news for us to dig into it. So I mean, again, but to spice things even up, the border is not supposed to. It should be a weapon-free zone, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
And then the next thing you know, 20 people are killed there. So if this is true, if this is really what they are doing, then I think somebody really have to raise the awareness.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, India also Black Lives, right? Black Lives Matter, right? Right. You can't, right? Are they not black enough? I don't know. So, all jokes aside, right? By the way, Black Lives really matter. That's not a joke. All lives matters aside. I think China also. I mean, again, something weird about them. All they want is domination, right? I think they just want to tackle the whole world.
Yeah. Eventually, they China is fighting with US, as we all know, the trade war, this and that. At the end of the day, they are both same, but they are both like same brother and sister, like twin brother, because they fight and then they say each other back. And at the end of the day, what they are doing is just like what both of them are doing. They are both trying to conquer the whole world, this and that. It's just that one they claim themselves as democracy, and another they just claim themselves as communists.
Yeah, I don't know. I just what we can. The only concern, not concern lah. We just hope that this domination thing. First of all, they have to really seek. China should clarify lah to all this thing to ease the tension, because you have to understand. I don't know. I'm standing if I'm China's point of view. Again, I'm not a political analyst. I could be wrong on this. You remember the world is actually quite united one. Sometimes you are not like, all right, I'm going to talk about India. I mean, if you really plan, is something planned to India? If for peace, truce method, you should actually just declare what happened and what really happened. Are you the people behind of this, right?
Yeah,
and not just like keep quiet like that, right?
Yeah. They should really clarify their action and how the whole world.
That will at least release the tension a little bit. You shouldn't just like, oh, it happened. Maybe. I don't know. Right?
And
but I find it very
I think their action should also be they also should consider about the other country what yes, it's a war between a political war or a political action between each country, and then it causes the soldier die and causes all this thing happen. At the same time, I also think that countries should actually be more friendly or be more. Okay, if I am the soldier, instead of listening to your general or to your leader, sometimes you need to be smart or you need to know what to do at that moment. Your leader is trying to tell you to kill each other, but you as a human, you should have the logic of thinking like, okay, it's a border. Why not we go peace? We don't kill each other because we are all human. They want to play the political game. They can just screw themselves. They can just play by themselves. But then we just stay in our territory, and then we just be calm and be peaceful.
So I just find it weird because you think about it, this land is being disputed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Both want to claim is maybe I change I use the analogy easier. Imagine you have a house.
Mm-hmm.
Both person claim the house is theirs, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Suddenly, the house very dirty,
Mm-hmm.
right? But none of them want to claim the house. That's
Mm-hmm.
how I see so far. So my
Mm-hmm.
question is, you want to claim or not? You want to claim lah,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm.
You know,
I mean,
and at
in
least
that scenario, yeah, who want to clean the house should be the owner of the house, because
yeah,
you take the
act
responsibility.
like it Yeah, act like it, right? Be a owner, right? Not just it happened in my place. I don't know. I mean, it's your place, what? Right? Even if let's say a wildcat go to your house and dirty your house, I'm sure you have to clean the house, right? You're not gonna wait for the wildcat to do it, right? That's how I see it.
Yeah, I mean, if let's say you really want that place, then you need to bear with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not gonna just like, oh, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'll wait for the cat.
Yeah, just like what you say, it's also remind me of what happened in Taiwan between China and Taiwan. So they claim Taiwan is part of China, but when you look back to the history, when there's World War II, what China do to help Taiwan? Nothing, right? They don't even send a troop to actually support Taiwan. They actually need to protect themselves, to build their nation again, this and that. And until now, Taiwan has the result. They have the economy power. They have this and that. And out of nowhere, China just saying, "Oh, Taiwan is part of China." If you are a Taiwanese, what do you feel? You feel betrayed, right? You feel like, what the hell this country are talking about? We are a nation. We are a country that we built. And out of nowhere, you try to claim that we are yours. It's just like Singapore. Yeah, it's just like Malaysia say, out of nowhere, Malaysia says Singapore is part of Malaysia again. Yeah.
Yeah, just thankfully Malaysia don't do like that, right? Luckily we didn't go back like, hey, you left us at 1960s and hey, you still mine, right? Just great. I just don't understand. I think world domination can come in a lot of ways. But definitely keep on conquering and leaving lives behind is not the way. We have seen this kind of, I think even if there's one thing maybe you can learn from history always teaches is like, any war eventually, most of the people who start the war are the ones who lost. Right? It can be from, you think of the Hitler one, it's the same thing, right? Guess who was the biggest loser? Yeah, they killed a lot of people, but at the end, just learn from history. And what is that? US and Vietnam, same also, right? They went to war. US and Iraq, right? So if there's one thing we can learn, like war never
solve
any problems.
Yeah.
Not even solve, if anything, but adds more problems.
Yeah.
So to speak. Yeah. But what they can do, they should really reduce the tension. Even you look at like Russia, Ukraine, at one point it was quite tense, right?
It's still in a war situation.
Yeah, it's still a war, but if you think about it, I think the good thing about, you look at them, both Russia and Ukraine, they were quite good. They actually explained where they stand. They were very transparent.
And
right?
and for them, it's actually part. It's not 100% Russia conquering Ukraine, but then some Ukrainian, they also want to be part of Russia. So for me, Russia is attacking them. Yeah, that's true. But then at the same time, some Ukrainian also willingly be part of Russia. So it's it's 50-50. Then they are something that they need to solve.
But one thing sad is like, already COVID, so many cases all around. With COVID, I expect like people to be a bit more like on their own health, not taking advantage, and then you see people like using this time and to take advantage. I just think it's ridiculous.
Right? I do think that COVID is somehow a past already for many people. It's a like past tense thing. People forget about it.
Yeah, people forget. Like the virus never exists, so I don't know Or should I say, to them it's like, oh, as long as you're not at certain country, I should be fine. I mean, that's what they think because the cases there are high. But if you think about it, a world is still a world, right?
Mm.
Unless you stay in Mars, then 0 case, go ahead.
Elon Musk will be your
yeah, not in the near future, obviously. So good luck. You keep waiting.
good luck.
So that's how I think. I mean, I just find it's very unfortunate that the death of these people, there's no call out. Nobody call them out and so on. Right?
Okay. So to summarize today,
I guess that's all from my end. Anything you want to add on?
Not so much actually.
Right.
So to summarize today, our topic,
so
we talk about borders, borders between the entertainment industry in Malaysia and the borders that we open to six green countries. And the next border we talk about is the China and India border in the Himalaya. So yeah, today the whole episode can be called as border, and we also see what happened around us, and then so stay safe and go for movie, go spend your money and go
go watch a movie.
Leisure time and live your life. And
before you end, I ask you one question. Do you think cinema ticket will increase or
not? They will. I think. Let's take weekend now, okay? I think they will sold out the ticket.
Do you think the price will increase?
Price price. I think they won't increase the price.
I got a feeling they will, because you're paying lesser capacity because they don't make any sales already. It's like flat ticket,
But then one thing is that is the government SOP So if let's say you increase your price, then for example one ticket TGV having promotion is 10 ringgit for example then you increase until 20 ringgit for example. Then you think then I don't think people actually spend 20 ringgit to watch a movie. They'll just be like,
you never know one.
Yeah, but then I think people will be like, alamak, I just stay at home and watch movie So since now the economy is not good, then a lot of people lost job or they don't have money, so they rather not to spend the extra 10 ringgit. I think that's also what the industry, the cinema, need to think about, because when you increase the price until, for example, you increase 5 ringgit, people might not want to watch movie in cinema anymore because they have no money, this and that.
Got a point. Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting regardless of open. So I guess that's it, right?
That's it.
Okay, all right. So thank you once again, everyone. So if you have any questions or any feedback, as usual, drop in the comments below. So remember to catch us on YouTube or even catch us on Spotify for the audio. So until then, till the next episode, till we meet, and talk to you later. Thank you. Bye-bye.
See you. Thank you. Bye.